Using Chinese technology, Russia has been testing ways to disconnect certain regions from the global internet as part of its push to create a, quote, sovereign internet. Recently, areas like Dagestan, Chechnya, and Ingushetia, home to predominantly Muslim populations, were cut off from international platforms such as Google, YouTube, Telegram, and WhatsApp. Even VPNs, which typically can get past these restrictions, were largely ineffective during these tests. Now, this effort is part of a broader strategy to build an independent internet system that Russia can fully control. This sovereign internet initiative has been in development since 2019. Now, the Kremlin has reportedly invested around $648 million in technologies to enforce these controls, which is 3 times more than they are investing in AI. The initiative includes blocking and throttling access to global platforms. Now, the aim is to ensure that Russia can maintain internet functionality and security even if it's cut off from the rest of the world. Now, Russia claims these tests are conducted annually to fine-tune the system and explore how Russia could operate its digital space in isolation, but in reality, its aim is just to block vast swaths of its own population from access to the global internet. In past exercises, authorities slowed down access to major sites like YouTube to the point where they were basically unusable. Critics warn that such moves contribute to the growing, quote, splinternet, where countries fragment the global internet into isolated, heavily controlled digital spaces, much like North Korea does. Now, Russia's internet control measures echo efforts in China, where the Great Firewall has long restricted access to foreign websites and censored content the government deems undesirable. While China has built a reputation for this kind of censorship over decades, Russia's recent steps show its ambitions to mirror those capabilities. In addition to isolation tests, Russia has been actively blocking VPN services to prevent people from bypassing state-imposed restrictions. By 2024, over 150 VPN services and hundreds of related websites had been banned in Russia. When countries like Russia and China decide to cut their populations off from the global internet, it's a risky move, though. On the surface, it's all about control, blocking unwanted information and keeping a tight grip on what people see, but the fallout can be much bigger than expected. For businesses, it's a disaster. Imagine running an online store in Russia and suddenly losing access to your livelihood. Small businesses lose their markets, startups lose tools for collaboration, and foreign investors get scared away. Innovation slows and the economy takes a hit. Technologically, building a sovereign internet is expensive and messy. It costs hundreds of millions of dollars to maintain, glitches are common, and replacing global platforms with domestic alternatives often falls very much short of what the expectation is. People notice this, especially when the replacement app does not work as well as the original. Cutting off apps like YouTube, WhatsApp, or Telegram disrupts daily life, especially for younger generations. Then there's the loss of ideas and talent. Researchers, students, and professionals need global connectivity to collaborate and innovate. When that's cut off, progress slows, and the most skilled workers often leave for freer environments. North Korea is decades behind the West when it comes to their technology, and it's because of their isolation. On the global stage, these moves don't go unnoticed either. Countries face criticisms for censorship and repression, and many countries just back away from doing business with those that want to create this splinternet. In the end, cutting off the global internet might give governments more control, but it comes at a high price: economic damage, frustrated citizens, and an isolated, slower moving economy. The trade-off isn't always worth it, but it just depends on how terrible of a government you actually are running and whether you want others to see how much better it is on the outside.